Hello, it's Gem Games here once again, and in this video we're going to continue with the power-up system. So we're actually going to make the power-up visible on the screen. So yeah, let's get started. First, you want to go to the link in the description and you want to download this magnet icon sorry, PNG file. After that, you want to go to your blueprints folder and you want to create a new folder there. And you want to call it icons. Then you want to import the icon there. Okay, like that. And next you want to go back to the blueprints and to the HUD folder, and you want to right click, create a new user interface and widget blueprint. And you want to select the user widget. Then we want to rename that to a power up slot. Okay, let's open it. And what we want to do here now is we want to change this. Actually, we don't want to change that to anything. We want to add a size box. And we want to make that size box. We want to set the width override and to hide the height override to true. And we want to set these both values to 128. So 128 units, like that. And after that, what we want to do, we want to search for a border and we want to move it to our size box. And now we can just set this border from here, content, color and opacity. We want to select this and set this alpha to 0. So, oh, sorry, not the content one. Let's set the alpha back to 1. And here on the brush color, let's open that and set the alpha to 0. So this border will be invisible for now. Later on we will add some things there, but for now it will be invisible. So next thing, we want to search for an image. We want to move it to the border. And we want to rename this image to a power up icon. We want to make it an as variable, like that. So is variable true. Okay, now we can just actually we don't have to do anything here for now. So let's go to the graph. Here on the graph we want to delete everything else than the event construct. So event tick, let's delete that. Event pre-construct, let's delete that. And here on the event construct we want to first get the power up icon reference, and then we want to set brush from texture. Set brush from texture, like that. Okay, and here let's set the match size to true. And here from the texture, let's get a select node. And what we want to select it with is we want to actually promote this index to a variable. Oh, we actually can't do it like that. So let's create a variable. Let's call it index and let's set the type to integer. Okay, now let's get the index and connect it to the index like that. So the option 0, which is the coin magnet power up, will be this magnet icon. If you cannot see it here, you want to search for a magnet underscore icon, like that. Okay, let's compile, let's save, and we don't actually have to do anything else here now. Oh, sorry, we actually want to set this index as instance editable and also expose on spawn, like that. Now let's compile, save, and we can close this. So the next thing, what we want to do, we want to go to the blueprints, we want to open the PP third person character, and yeah, we actually want to change these functions a little bit, or these events, but yeah, let's do it when it's time for that. So the first thing, we want to actually create a new function. Let's call it add underscore power up. Okay, and here we want to add a new input, and it should be called index also, index, and the type should be integer. And what we want to check here is we want to get the power ups array, and yeah, from here we want to get, and we want to connect this index to here, and we want to add a reroute to here, so it will look a little bit nicer because we will have to get some more things from here. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired, so if my English is not very good, but I think you will understand. Okay, so the next thing, we want to get a branch, so B and left click. Let's connect it to here, and we want to check if the power-ups array of that index is true or false. Okay, and now we want to get from the power-ups array, and we want to set array element, and we want to set it on the false, like this. And let's actually move this a little bit further up so it matches the. Okay, it's not aligned perfectly yet, but it's good enough. So the next thing we want to get from here, let's actually move this reroute a little bit more down like this, and actually even more. Let's get from here, connect to the index. Let's add yet another reroute to here, and let's make the item as true and size to fit true, like that. So if the power up of that index is not true, then we want to set it to true, like that. Okay, and after that, what we want to do is we actually want to get our game mode reference, and from there we want to get our player HUD reference. Like this. And now we want to compile and save and go to the third person map and to the HUD folder, and we want to open the player HUD. And here on the player HUD, what we want to do is we actually first want to go to the graph. Yeah, we want to add a new function, and we want to call this function add power up. Okay, and here what we want to do, we want to add also input here called index, and we want to set the type to integer. And what we want to do here now is we want to actually create a widget, like that, and the class should be the power up slot. The index is this index, and oh, one more thing we have to do on the power up slot, so let's go back there. So to the third person map and to the power up slot, we actually want to, let's go to the graph and let's add yet another variable here. Let's call this variable player HUD ref, sorry, and the type should be player HUD, and from here the object reference, so the blue one, like that. And let's make it instance editable and also expose on spawn. Then let's compile, save, and we can close this. Okay, let's go back to the player HUD, and here we actually want to change this to whatever something to something else like this, and let's change it back to the power up slot. So now we can see the player HUD reference here, and now we want to just get from here, and we want to search for a self, get a reference to self, like that. Okay, and the next thing what we want to do from the return value. Oh, sorry, actually we don't want to do it that way. So we actually have to go to the designer. So let's go to the designer, and here what we want to do is we want to create the power up grid. So let's search for a grid. So uniform grid panel. Let's move it here to the screen. let's set the anchor to the left middle part to here, and let's set the position X to 50, and let's set the position Y to 0, size X to 128, and let's make the size Y to like 600. It doesn't matter because we will make it size to content like this. Okay, let's rename this uniform grid panel to power up grid like that. Let's make it as variable like that. Now let's compile and save. And now let's go back to the graph. And what we want to do now is we have this new power up grid reference here. We want to get this. And from here, we want to add child to uniform grid like that. Okay, so we are basically adding a child actor to here, or basically child widget. So I will show you. And the child content should be the return value of this. Now we also want to get the power up grid again to here, and we want to get children count. So it will basically get the amount of children widgets on this grid. So if we have 0, it will set the new child to the row 0. And if we have 1, it will set it to the next one, and so on. So yeah, it will basically set them like after each other. So yeah, and we don't have to set anything in column. It can always be 0 like that. Okay. The next thing what we want to do here is we want to go back to the BB third person character, and here we now have this layer HUD reference. What we want to do now is we want to just call that function that we just created. So add power up, connect it here, and now let's get this array, index from here. Let's connect it to the index. Let's add yet another reroute like that. Okay, so that's done. And the next thing what we want to do is we want to go back to the player HUD, and we want to create yet another function. Let's call this function update power up grid like that. Okay, and what we want to do here, what this function will basically do is it will update the location or the position of the child widgets after we delete one from there. So after we call the remove power up function that we will create soon, this will update the the order of them basically. So yeah, let's get the power up grid, and from there we want to get all children like this, and from here, from the return value, we want to call the for each loop node like this. Okay, and what we want to do here, we want to get from the array element, and we want to slot as a uniform grid slot like this. And from here we want to set row. The row that we want to set will be the array index. So we are basically just changing the child widget to the right location. So yeah, let's compile, save, and now what we want to do, we want to duplicate this add power up function, and let's call this remove power up. Okay. Here on the remove power up, what we want to do, okay, I'm so stupid. We we didn't have to do it like that. Sorry about that again. I'm a little bit tired. So let's delete actually everything from here. Okay, but now we have this input index here on the remove power up. And what we want to do here now is we actually first want to go to the event graph and we want to get a event construct node to here. From here, we want to first get the get player character. And from here, we want to cast to third person character like this. And from the SPV third person character, we want to promote it to a variable like that. And we want to rename this to player ref, or at least I want to do it. I'll call it that always. I don't know why, but that's cool for me. So yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the remove power up. And here on the remove power up, what we want to do now is we want to get the player reference like this. And from here, we want to get the power ups. And we want to set array element like this. The index should be the index, and the item should be false, and size to fit should be true. And after that, we want to call the update power up grid function that we just created. Okay, compile and save. And now what we want to do is we want to go to the power up slot yet again. And here, let's go to the graph. On the event construct, we want to set delay of like, let's set it like 5 seconds first, just for testing purposes. So yeah, after that we want to get the player HUD reference, and from here we want to call the remove power up function like this. And the index should be the index variable like this. So everything should work now. So let's compile, save, and let's move this next to the other windows. And let's see what happens when we play. And nothing is happening. And that's because we haven't called those functions yet. So sorry about that. PP third person character, let's go there and to the event graph. And here we have this activate power up. And actually I will have to check add power up. Okay, sorry. Here on the event graph, we created this activate power up event on the last episode. We actually can delete this now because we don't need it anymore. Now let's compile, save, and let's go to the blueprints, to the interactables, and to the coin magnet. And here on the coin magnet, we don't have we have an error here because we deleted that function. So let's delete it from here also. Let's call the new function. So let's add power up. Index should be the 0. And let's connect it to here. Now let's compile, save, and let's go play. Let's see if it works. As you can see, we have this magnet here on the screen, and after 5 seconds, it should be gone. And it's not gone. And why is that? Let's see. Oh, I just remembered. Let's go back to the power up slot. And after this remove power up here, we want to call the remove from parent node like that. Okay, let's compile, save, and try again. Okay, now the coin magnet works. Yes, and it should be gone, and now it won't work anymore. And actually I cannot try that because we don't have enough coins here. So let's move one of these coins a little bit further, like that. And let's try again. So now the coin magnet works. Yes, now it's gone. Let's see. It shouldn't work anymore. And as you can see, it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, everything is working correctly. On the next episode, we will add some animations to the power-up slot, so it will start to like flash and like it will have some animation before it goes away, so you can see when it will go away. And yeah, we will make it look a lot better and so on. But yeah, I think that was all for this video, because yeah, my head is not working correctly right now. So yeah, if you liked the video, please click the like button and subscribe for more. And yeah, hope you have a great day and see you in the next one. Bye.